Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Spotlight. My name is Levi Kass. Tonight our Spotlight is focused on health and wellness. And with me is a health and wellness consultant. Her name is Clare Osoro from right here in Nairobi, going to talk to us about the matters that affect us in terms of our health. Welcome to the set.
Thank you so much, Levi.
Maybe we can pick it up from there and tell the viewer a little bit more about who you are.
My name is Clare Osoro. I'm a health and wellness consultant with Forever Living Products. And basically my area is focusing on individual health. What are you doing about your health if you're not healthy? If you're healthy, are you passing on the information to others? In that, when you're taking your lunch, before or after, you're supposed to let out the breakfast. Have you ever asked yourself, if you don't let out the breakfast, or you don't let out both the breakfast and lunch, and you only let out one meal a day?
Yeah, but Claire, let's be serious. If we did that, that would mean we'd have to go to the toilet how many times? 3-4 times a day?
3 times a day. Very practical, very healthy.
That's the healthy way.
Yes.
That would shock a lot of people, because I would imagine people who work in areas where they have to work 8-hour shifts where they're just with one break. And most people don't get another break for, the toilet bathroom break or something like that. So it would be very difficult for people to actually live that kind of lifestyle. Would you really say that this would be something for an adult
You
to
do not put your health in a timetable. That is what I'll tell you. Because let's say if you were to get that urge to go for a call right now, you will call in for a break. Yeah? And you will let it out. If you're in, I'm sorry to put it like this, but if you're in a job that is not even giving you a break for your health, then you should question yourself what you're doing with your life. Just picture this. Whatever it is you flash out when you go for a long call, if you're supposed to flash it out 3 times in a day, and you only let it out once in a day, what does the rest of it do to your system?
What does it do? Tell us.
It's basically toxins, carbohydrates converted to fats. And that's why you'll find most of the people will have issues related with the gut. Ulcers, hypertension, diabetes, cancer. Mostly food poisoning is the most common. Yeah? Irritations. You wonder, you have this funny tummy aches, the doctor is saying you're okay, ama you're always being told you have a bacterial infection. You should question yourself. It's basically detoxing. The simplest form of detoxing is water. How many times have you taken water today? Have you done your 2 liters of water today?
No, not 2 liters, I can't say that.
So you don't have time for the call, you don't have time for water. What do you have time for? And we're talking watching your health for a wealthier future.
I hear what you're saying, but many people, just driving you away from this particular issue, is that many times when you hear health and wellness, we think about the gym and running, about eating burgers, and
which is part of it.
Reduction of fat in your daily consumption. It doesn't really come down to how many times you visit the toilet, Or is that just one aspect, or
That's
is
just
that
one aspect.
something else you're putting on?
When you ask me about what health is, or how I would measure health, that is one of the factors I would look for. That's like a warm-up into the consultation, because again, matters health are to do with the individual. Like for you, your system is not the same as mine. Even if you were to have a twin, your systems are not the same. So you have to deal with person per person. So apart from the BMI and the weight, the height, length, body measurements, waist to hip ratios, there's also that consultancy part. Have you had a history of lifestyle diseases?
So we are taking it, let's take a scenario here. I've walked into your office for a health and wellness consultation. I've just sat down on the chair. What are the things we are running about? First, you've asked me about how many times I go to the toilet. Then you have taken my BMI, which you need to explain to us, by the way, what that is, because some people may look at it as a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Then you've done the height, the weights, and what else did you say? The hip ratio?
Waist to hip ratio.
Waist to hip ratio. Then what?
Then now to solutions. Do you have a problem? If not, you're okay. Do you have a problem? If yes, solutions.
What if I say I don't have a problem? Or what declares I have a problem?
What declares you have a problem is those tests. Like for instance, BMI is body mass index, which is your weight calculated by your age. Yeah? So, and there's a chart for it. Like let's say if you're around 20 something, 28, your weight is supposed to be this for a girl, it's supposed to be this for a boy. You see? So if we look at the chart and you're not in that bracket, that's matters weight. Then there's something you need to do. Either you need to add or you need to cut weight. And that's why I'm going to, it's personal with health issues. But the most basic for everyone, yeah, the most basic for everyone is the foods you take in. I always advocate for a lot of greens. I give people a menu, a vague menu. Your veggies, your carbohydrates, and your starch. That should be the size in your plate.
Wait, that's the fist and the palm.
The fist is your starch. This is your proteins, and this are your veggies. So that's a balanced
So half,
plate.
quarter basically.
Yes. Half your plate should be veggies for roughage and all that.
Where does
and that
genetics
is why
come into play in all this?
Genetics is basically, you might assume your health, but if you've had a history of lifestyle diseases, then it's probable that you're subjective to it attacking you. But there's actually a way you can counterattack it by living healthy. Like for instance, if you have a diabetic history in your family, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll get diabetes yourself, even if you are prone to. All you have to do is know what is it that causes diabetes.
What if you just have, let's forget the bad side. What if you just have a huge body history where you're just big?
You're comfortable with your weight.
Your family is just big, you guys are just big, no one has died of a heart attack, nobody had kidney failure, nobody had, issues with cholesterol. People just live, they reach their 80s, they, they went to meet their maker, but nothing really happened. So then you, of course, maybe you are in the village, you come to Nairobi, everyone tells you, hey, you're huge, you need to lose some of this weight. How do you tell them, look, this is how I am, this is how we are, as opposed to, I really need to do something about it?
Just the same way you said it to me. If you are comfortable with your weight and there's nothing wrong with your health, you are perfect. Because again, there are people who are underweight. We've talked so much about people who are overweight, but there are actually people who are suffering anorexia. Underweight people, they're looking for solutions just as badly as those ones who are overweight are looking for solutions. So it's basically not about weight. It's being comfortable in your weight and knowing that it does not have health-related complications for you in the future.
Most Kenyans would scoff at that, the underweight guys. Like, is it really a problem?
It is.
Like, it's really, like, because many people say, okay, for you to gain weight, all you just need to do is eat. So speaking to underweight people, just to digress a little bit, shida iko wapi? Si wakule wajae.
Okay. Like,
what's the problem?
Let me give you an example of the anorexic. The anorexic is someone who doesn't have, can I call it an appetite? Someone who doesn't have appetite. Most of the time they don't eat. There's the bulimic who take in a lot of food but still let it out just as fast. They force themselves to puke so that they don't add weight. Those are two complications of the underweight. You see? So if someone was to develop complications like cardiovascular issues, asthma, you'll find most of the people who have asthma are either underweight or obese. Those two options. Why are these ones in the middle not affected?
People like me.
Yes.
Why are we not affected?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it all goes with your weight. This one does not have enough biotics in the system, good bacteria, good toxins in the system to protect the internal organs. So it's all open. So when the cold comes in, it affects them like a bang. And these others will store the cold, and it will come to affect them later. You see, so those are two extremes.
Very, very interesting issues, Claire. But I'm beginning to wonder now, if I were to take you a step back, exactly how did we get ourselves here? Because you see, over the years, Kenya has been one of those countries, especially, let me say, African countries. We haven't had issues so much with what I would call health and wellness, where people are actually coming on programs like this one to talk about such things. And we have now people talking about it in magazines. People write articles concerning your health and what you need to do, how to lose weight, how to gain weight, how to stay healthy, how to get rid of, you know, issues to do with cardiovascular complications and all that. Why are we here now? And yet a lot of us are still, you know, for the most part, we are not motorized, all of us. Many of us are still walking. We have a population where only a third of us live in urban areas. What's the problem?
I will give 3 options. Actually, like the root cause. I will start with the GMOs introduction. It wasn't necessarily introduced juicy. It has been there. Only that when it was introduced, not so many people knew it. Let me first start by saying there's nothing wrong with GMOs. It's just that in all the countries that they have been introduced, especially the Western countries, they do not take in starch as much as
let me pause you before you actually break it down. Just give me 5 factors. It's food. What else?
Food, westernization, still comes in with food. The foods that we used to take kitambo are not the foods that we're taking now.
I hear you.
I would say lifestyle also. There's too much of sitting in offices. There's no
So we are sedentary.
activity. Yeah, we've become sedentary. What else? That has brought the complications. There's also the commercialization of health and wellness. In that, when you come and talk to someone about knowing about their health, knowing their BMI, knowing even their blood group, they'll be like, no, you know, like, why should I know?
Commercialization, and I might just add crooks in commercialization of health and wellness.
You can put it like that.
But I'll tell you what, let's take a break right now, and when we come back, we get into the nitty-gritty of why it is that we are where we are.